we did not drive the diesel.
Yeah.
And there's an important point there. Because of all the things that we didn't drive, there's lots of key bits that you need to know.
Okay.
So like this with the bench version, I'm guessing the hip point will be low. Now the diesel has a few misses compared to the petrol.
Okay.
For instance, it doesn't get a sunroof.
That's not a miss.
For people from a purchase consideration standpoint, the interesting thing is why it's not there. So it doesn't get the sunroof. It doesn't get a spare wheel. That should be your clue.
So to manage the weight of this car, इतना फर्क है diesel में.
Because this entire platform has also stepped up.
Right.
So like they did with the Creta, when they did the facelift, the Creta, the Seltos, the weight went up by about some 40 kilos or something like that. Now with this, with the Alcazar, the weight has gone up by about 52, 54 kilograms. A lot of the panels have been made thicker. They're using higher strength steel. There's more bracing, to again, all from a crash safety standpoint. So all that weight has gone up. And what Hyundai says, and this is so telling about who we are as people. Right? They said, if the number goes from 20 point whatever it is to 19 point something, it can change
your perception of the car. Yeah.
And they're saying we've had to retune the engine so that we balance performance and fuel efficiency. Because with the weight going up, the emissions getting stricter, they have to keep balancing that. Right. So we can't have too much of a penalty on performance, and we can't have too much of a penalty on
fuel economy either.
Yeah. So they've had to take all of that out so that they can manage weight on the car, and of course emissions and all of that. So petrol gets a spare wheel, which is under the floor. The diesel will only get that as an accessory.
Okay.
And it doesn't get a sunroof at all.
That's because the diesel flatter will come through the roof.
And the other thing that I realized, which was really interesting, I was just going and poking around the car, and I realized this tailgate feels funny. I mean, different. You know, like not normal. It's just feeling the edges and all. The tailgate is now fully plastic. So this is not the first car to do that.
Yeah,
the first car to do that was the XUV 700, which is a few years ago.
Right.
And they have transitioned also to a plastic tailgate because it saves weight. So all these things. So in terms of more plastics on your cars, on the exterior, you of course have a lot on the inside. The exterior, spare wheels going missing. All this is going to be.
It's coming to you for many cars now.
More and more cars will continue to offer this.
And so everybody who wrote comments about plastic exteriors in reference to our various comments on crash test safety, there's a video that you should watch. It's roughly called Is Your Car Safe? It's got a orange and red thumbnail with Kartik in it. Go watch that video where we discuss these ideas in detail as to when you thump a car, what do you learn from it? And it occurred to me because there was a Swift reel that we put out. And somebody commented saying, is this how you test a car? You thump it. We don't test the car like that. That's the expectation of people who are buying these cars a lot. And many of whom I agree do not watch MotorInc, and that's fine. But the structural integrity of a car and the body panels on the outside, very few of those panels actually have a direct connection to each other. So in theory, you can have a car with an almost all plastic exterior. As long as the structure underneath is strong enough to beat a crash test, there's nothing wrong with it. And the easiest place where they can put a plastic, get you to accept it and buy the car and live with it and realize it doesn't make a difference, happens to be the tailgate.
Hi, it's me, Kartik, the one who's generally laughing and just going along with Shumi's jokes. You can catch all the jokes on the main channel. That's where they're all there. Right now, this is a bit of the serious conversation, but you can catch all the fun factor on the full video, which is on the MotorInc channel. So head out there and subscribe. And if you want more of these shorter clips, do subscribe to this channel as well.